So we discuss ungrouped data. So we had the same data. This data is ungrouped. 1, 2, 2, 2, and 3, 3. Then we had 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, and we had 11. So this is the data that we have. So now, using the same data, we can now draw a frequency table. Draw a frequency table. So to draw the frequency table, we have the data. Denoted by xi. So what else do we have? So we can draw our table. Then we have the tally. Then next we've got the frequency. Frequency Fi. Then we've got Fi times Xi, which is the product of the two. Fi times Xi. So now we go to each data ones. How many ones are there? There are 3, isn't it? So the frequency number will be 3. You go to 2. How many 2s are there? There are 4. So write 4. And then 3. How many 3s are there? We have 2. So write 2. 4, we have 1 of it. Then 5, we have 1. So the frequency is 1. 6, we have 1. So the frequency is 1. 7, we have 2. We have 2. So the frequency is 2. Okay, we can extend our table. Then we go to 8. 8 we have 2, so the frequency is 2. 9 we have 2, the frequency is 2. 10 we have got 2, the frequency is 2. And then we've got 11. 11 is just 1.
But sir, before you continue.
Yes, please.
Sir, before you continue, I'm
Yes,
left behind on how to enter that data. You said the first part, you said when you're done entering the data, you press shift, then 1. And then what do you do there?
So you observe what you're looking for there. If you're looking for the sum, is the sum appearing on number 2? So then you press 2.
Number 2.
So yeah, that's how you do it. Let's get the product. So here we'll get the product of this, the xi and the fi's. So we multiply each data value by the frequency. So we get the answer there. 2 will be multiplied by the frequency. 4, you get the number there. And so.
Sir, did you answer me?
Hello? Hello?
I didn't get the...
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir.
Yes.
Would you also show us how to calculate the mean using the stem and leaf, using the same information?
Or they also ask for calculation of mean using stem and leaf?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see how we go. So I have 6, the next data is 1, then the next data is 5, then we've got 6, then we've got 14, then 16.
So I was having the mics are making noise.
Then we've got 22, then we've got 11. So those are the products. And then you need to get the sum here. F of xi.
Chelsea, now mute your mic.
So your sum here must be equal to the number of the data values that you had. You said you have 21, eh? Okay, you have 21. And then let's get the sum in the last column. The sum in the last column. What's the sum in the last column? 3 plus 8 plus 6 plus 1 plus 5. Okay, so this value here, so I put 2 by 8, then here the next
111.
6, then the next should be 4. So the sum still gives you 111. Eh? Sum of fi,
Yes.
xi gives you 111. So you observe that we are getting the same information, So if you have to calculate the mean here, the mean will be equal to summation of fi, xi over summation of fi. So you're getting the same thing, 111 divided by 21. You're getting the same answer that you got, isn't it? Which even your calculator is able to get, since you already have that information. Okay. So you observe that you're getting the same value, isn't it? So when you have got the frequency table, that's how you calculate the mean. That's the formula. Okay, let's proceed now. Okay, so we proceed. We go to the next screen. Okay, so we proceed. We go now to the other part of the question. Discuss now the group's data. So let's have the data below.
Excuse me, sir.
What excuse?
Sir. Yes, others are failing to log in.
They are failing to log.
Yeah, let them try again. They log out. They keep on trying because there are no restrictions set on logging in. Eh?
All right, sir.
Yeah, it's direct entry. So tell them to log out, then again log in. Let them try that way. So given the data below, so we have the class interval. Then the frequency. So this is our table. So we have the class interval 45 to 49. The frequency is 2. Then from 50 to 54, the frequency is 3. Then 55 to 59, the frequency is 6. Then we've got 60 to 64. 60 to 64, the frequency is 4. And then 65 to 69, the frequency.
So this is when you are starting.
The frequency is 9. We started some time back. So then we go to 70, 70 to 74. The frequency there is also 9. Then go to 75 to 79. The frequency is 3. We go to 80 up to 84. The frequency is 4. So this is the table that we have. And then they want us to use the table and find the following. Using the information above, find the mean X bar, B, the median class, C, the median, D, the variance, and E, we find the standard deviation. Standard deviation. Okay, so this is our question. Let us now find the solution. So you need to complete the table now. This is the table that you've been given. So on the solution.
The previous board, the bid.
What?
The previous board.
Okay, so we move on. So let us draw now the table. the cumulative frequency table. Frequency table. Okay. So we've got the class interval, then the mid-class value, mid-class value. This would not by xi. Then we've got the frequency. The frequency fi. Then we've got the cumulative frequency. And then we've got the product of fi, xi, and the product of fi, xi squared. Okay, so this is our table. Now let's complete it. So we can complete our table. Okay, so the first class, we have 45 to 49. What is the middle class? Here, the middle class simply refers to the number in between. We have the lower limit and the upper limit of the class interval. So the number in between here, what's the number? So you can simply get that number. You add the lower limit plus the upper limit, then divide the sum by 2. So this gives you
47.
This gives you 47. Okay. Then the frequency is given in the table. We had 2. Then we go to the next class, 52, 54. The middle class will be 52. The frequency there is 3. Then we go to 55. 55, 59. The middle class is 57. And the frequency is 6. Okay. Then move on to 60, up to 64. Your middle class will do what? The 62. The frequency given is 4. Then you go to 65, up to 69. The middle class there is 7, right? 7, the frequency given is 9. Then we go to 70, up to 74. The middle class is 72. And then the frequency given is 9. Then 75 to 79. The middle class is 77. The frequency is 3. Then we go to 80, up to 84. The middle class value is 82. And then your frequency given there is 4. So let's get the cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency, we get it in this manner. You get the first digit, which is the 2, the first frequency value, which is the 2. So you write 2 there. And then next, this 2, you add the next frequency. So 2 plus 3, you get 5. You write 5 there. The next, you still get the same 5. You add the next 6, so you get 11. So you get 11. So following the same pattern, the next one will be 15. Then the other one will be 24. Then 24 followed by 3. 3 followed by 6. Then 40. Then the product of Fi and Xi, you're getting this times that. So 47 times 2, you're getting 90 what? You're getting 94. So you have 94. The next will be 156. Then followed by 3, 42. Then 248. Then 603. Then 648. Then 231. And last 328. So this is a product of Xi and Fi. The next is you get the Xi, this value, you square it, again multiply by the frequency. So if the question demands, if the question is being asked just go as far as maybe the mean, meaning the last column won't be included because this last column, we just use it when finding the variance. When you're going up to variance or standard deviation, that's when the last column is necessary. So you get this, you square it, no wonder of what Xi squared. Then multiplied by the frequency 2. So doing that, this is what you get.
Sam,
Yes, please.
is it everything squared there, or it's just x which is squared and then you multiply
it is
with
just
frequency, or it's
just X. It is
X
just,
is the only one which is squared.
yes. Okay, then we are getting 40 for 1. Then you have 4, 6, 6, 5, 6. Then 1, 7, 7, 8, 7, 2, 6, 8, 9, 6. So okay, so this is your table. Let's get the totals now. So the totals, here you have F4, summation Fi. This is simply equal to 40. Then you go to summation of the product, summation of Fi, Xi. This gives you 2, 6, 5, 0. And then summation of Fi, Xi squared. This gives you 1, 7, 9, 1, 4, 0. Okay, so now we can now find what they want us to find. So let's get the mean. Okay, so we observe that from the previous one. We want the mean, the median. Okay, so A is the mean. So A wants the mean, which is equal to X bar being equal to summation of Fi, Xi divided by summation of FI. This gives us 2650, the sum we got in the table, divided by 40, giving us 66.25. So that is your mean. And then we go to B, the median class interval. Median class interval. So let's get back to the table. So you observe that you've got 40 data sets, you've got 40 observations of 40 measurements. So now, if the numbers are 40, this frequency, the sum of the frequency gives us how many numbers we have. So it means that this guy here, summation of the frequency is simply equal to n. So we need to take note of that. So now n, it means you have got 40 data values. If the numbers are 40, which one will be in between? Clearly, we need to have two numbers in between. Two numbers in between. So it's like if these are your numbers, if these are your numbers, like you have maybe x1, x2, until you reach maybe x40. If these are your numbers, and there are 40 of them, meaning you are going to count 20 from the beginning, x1, x2, until you reach maybe xc, until you reach x99. So you've counted the first 19. If you start from the last one, you're going to have x40, x39, until you reach x21. Here in between there is x20. So your counting, your division will be like this. You need to have two numbers in between in this case. You need to have
Sorry, repeat on that part.
Okay, so we are saying that if these are your numbers, algebra causes more problems. Let me use numbers here so that you're able to get it. Suppose you've got your numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9. You want to find the number in between. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Since the numbers are 8, again from the far end, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one in between will be the median, isn't it? Then the one in between will be a median. So meaning that we'll count the first 3 like this, and then we also count the same 3 numbers from the far end. We're starting from here. We come like this. So these 2 numbers in between gives us the median, isn't it? And in this case, how do you find the median?
You add the 2 numbers, divide by 2.
So we add and divide by 20. Wonderful. So now these numbers were 8. Now in our case, the numbers are 40. We want to know the class interval where that median will lie. So if the numbers are 40, it means we are to count 20 numbers. 20 numbers. We are to count 20 numbers. Sorry, not 20, but 19. Since they are 40. So we have to count 19 numbers from left. So you count your numbers like this, and then you also to count 19 numbers on the right hand. Also 19 numbers on the right. So you observe that the numbers are 40. If you count 19 and 19, there are two numbers that will remain here. There are two numbers that will remain. We're going to have x1
Yes.
and maybe x2 as the numbers that are remaining in between. Eh? So now, in this case, it's difficult to get these exact numbers, but we can easily get the class in which they lie. So the class here, is, so if you count, we count by adding these numbers, we keep on adding. So when we add, the addition gives us the numbers on the cumulative frequency. The adding this 2 plus the 3, 5, this is the 5, plus 11, this is the 6, plus 9, this is the 15. Eh? So we need to count up to 19 since the numbers are 4 times. So you observe that the 19th measurement falls in this class. Eh? The 19th measurement falls in this class, which is 65 to 69. Very soon I'll be timed out, then we'll log in, but we won't come and draw the table again. You can try to master the data value. So the 19th number will fall into this class interval here, from 65 to 69. Even when we were to count, to add numbers from down, this plus this 7 plus 9, then plus C. So you observe that the 19th number will also lie in the same interval. So this interval where the median lies is now the median class interval. The median class interval. Hope we get it.
Sir.
Yes, please.
So in the case of maybe we had maybe 48, sorry, not 48, 41. 41 as the total, which is that.
So you count 2020.
Are we going to have the same median class?
So it depends on where the 20th element of observation will lie, in which interval will it lie. That will be our class interval required. So use the same method.
Okay.
So let us quickly get it. Okay, so here we're done. We are saying it is from 65 to 69. Eh? And now we can quickly get the median. Let me see if we can manage. So we have median. Median is given by L plus N over 2 minus CF over F multiplied by H. Here, L is equal to lower limit of median class, of the median class interval. And then we've got any is simply the summation of Fi. And then what else do we have here? The CF is the cumulative frequency. It's the cumulative frequency of the interval before the median class, before the median class interval. So that is the cumulative frequency. So in this case, the cumulative frequency will be this one. The class interval is this one, isn't it? So the cumulative frequency before this, before 24, on the median class interval, our cumulative frequency is 24, but the one slightly before is what? 15. So that is the CF. That's the one we're calling the CF. And then what else do we have to define? We have to define H. H is simply the height of the interval. That is the lower limit minus the upper limit, giving us 4. So then you can substitute now here. Our lower limit is 65 plus our N is 40 over 2. Then minus the cumulative frequency of the interval. The cumulative frequency before the frequency of the median class is 15, then divided by F. Our F is 9. F is just the frequency of the median class. So we've got 9 times C, H, which we have found to be 4. So when you simplify, you're going to get this as your answer. So that's how you get your median. So this must be a 4. Okay. Then we go to D. Let's quickly find D. Variance. Variance denoted by sigma squared is simply equal to summation of F x squared over N minus the mean, the square of the mean. Minus the square of the mean. When you substitute these variables, you're going to get 89.4375. Now, for the standard deviation, it is just the square root. Standard deviation, which is sigma. Standard deviation.
Excuse me, sir.
Right, excuse.
Sir, I was asking when finding a lower limit, there was this formula which I saw like, okay, I'm kindly asking if you can just go back to the table which has everything which we were putting in the same table.
Okay. So in that case, you are looking at the lower limit for what? Okay, let's go to the table.
The same way you have found this lower limit. Now the formula which I saw like when finding the lower limit, since we have identified like it is in this range, so we are going to do 65 and then plus the other number which is at the right side, the line where there is 60.
The line where there is where we have 60. This number plus 64. Hello, I can't hear you. That addition, is it to find the lower limit or you're finding something else?
It's for finding the lower limit. When you add those two, then you
65 and then
divide by 2.
Or you add the two, then these two, 65 and 64.
By 2.
And then divide by 2. To give you the lower limit. Okay, you can try to compare the two. You can try to compare the two, referring to your notes. I can. In fact, I've sent something also in your group. There's some book that I've sent. It gives you a good introduction of what you're looking at.
Something like that.
So the standard deviation is simply the square root of the variance sign. The square root of the variance. So this gives you the standard deviation. So that's how far we go. Unless there are questions, I'll be timed out. So we are going to log in.
So, sir,
yes.
Can you mark when someone just writes SD for the standard deviation? Also, yeah, without putting this symbol here.
Or standard deviation, just SD. Yeah, we mark.
Yes.
We can mark.
Even the variance without putting this symbol.